Hey, in this video I'm going to be talking about pop-ups and how you can create your own pop-ups. In this example we have a landing page here with a headline and then a button, and we want to have this button trigger a pop-up. Right now this button doesn't do anything, so let's create a pop-up. So we have a thing on the bottom here is called show pop-up. If you click on that, we will show the pop-up. This pop-up has nothing inside of it. It depends on the template that you're using. If you choose a two-step opt-in template, the template or the pop-ups are going to be designed for you. This one is example is just a custom template that I was just working on myself. So we're going to have to design the template or the pop-up ourselves. If you want to edit the settings for your pop-up, you can just click on this button here that says Edit Pop-up Settings. And then it will show the side panel with all the information. The property settings here is pretty much the same for rows, sections, and columns, except for there's a few different elements here that you can change on a pop-up that's different from a section. I'll explain those in a minute. Let's just create some text here real quick. I'm just going to create a one column row with some headline saying, wait, we have free stuff. I can make that bold. Then I'm going to create a opt-in button or an opt-in form. Double click on opt-in, and I'm going to make this a email field. I'm going to give it 20 pixels at the top saying enter your email address, and then I'm going to make it required. I'm going to give it a large. This is just for styling of the form, and then I'm going to make it center like this. Alright, so now we have an input field. I'm going to make a button here so that this button can get free stuff now. Alright, so we have a button here, and this button is going to have an action of submit form, and I'm just going to make this button large, and that'll be fine. So now we have this pop-up. I'm going to hit save. Alright, so some things you want. So now we have like the basic pop-up, but we have free stuff, a headline, and then a form field and a button. If I click on Edit Pop-up Settings, we can start making this pop-up look a bit cooler. We can change the width of it. So right now we have a small pop-up. We can have an extra small pop-up, and I'm just going to give it a extra small pop-up. I'm just going to give the siding just a bit more. So it's going to be, that's too much. Alright, so that's that. You can change the background or backdrop color. So we have a light gray. So let's make it like a red, or you can like a purple. You can do anything you want here. I'm going to give it like a dark bluish color. Alright, so now we have that dark bluish color. I'm just going to give it a border, a full border of dark, and then a shadow. Alright, so that's our pop-up here. There's a few options. So the one thing that you want to do here is we have this animation style. So you can make this pop-up come from the top, like fade from the top. You can load it in with fade with scale, or you can just have it fade in. I'm just going to have it fade from the top. You can have this pop-up triggered by a button. You can also have it triggered if someone goes to leave the page. So I'm going to demonstrate that now. So there's an option here called Show on Exit. If I click on this, which says Show when user exits, it'll trigger the pop-up. So before we do that, I'm just going to change this to a big weight. I know it's a bad copy, but I'm just going to do that. I'm just going to make this really big text here. Alright. So now we have a semi-decent pop-up here. So let's go to my page and hit reload. So now if I try and leave the page, as you can see, the pop-up just slide down from the top, just as we wanted to it. So now if I submit this form with my email address, we can start collecting emails. But let's have it so when we click on this button, it pops up too. So I'm just going to close this and hit this button here. So this button has no URL/action. So if I click on this area, we have the actions we can do with this pop-up. So we can have it submit a form as we discussed before. We can also have it open pop-up. So I'm just going to click open pop-up. That's all we need to do. Hit save. Go back to my page here. Reload. So now when I click on this button, it's going to open up the pop-up, which is great. Now let's say I'm going to leave. I'm like, I don't want it. I close the pop-up. Oh, the pop-up shouldn't open. Oh, there we go. The pop-up opens as we try and leave the page.